A couple weeks ago, a man drove 45 minutes at night to bring an injured pigeon to the wildlife hospital where I volunteer. He carried the pigeon in a shoebox. When he handed it over, his hands were slightly shaking. I think he was worried because during the whole journey, he couldn't hear anything from inside the box. That moment stayed with me. But before I tell you more about the story, hi, I'm Shizuka, and this is Quietly Becoming. I'm currently on a business trip, so today I'm filming from my hotel room instead of my summer house. Recently, I started volunteering in a wildlife hospital in the UK, and during my first trainings, I experienced several moments that really changed the way I think about compassion. One of the first things the head nurse told me during my interview really surprised me. She said, "We are not allowed to talk to the animals. No petting, no taming." It felt a bit strange at first because when I think about kindness, I usually think about comforting words. Then she continued, "For wildlife animals, our voices are just a noise. They are already stressed, injured, captured, and placed in unfamiliar environment. So the kindest thing we can offer is quiet, calm, quick and smooth movement." That advice stayed in my mind from the very beginning. And I'm so thankful for that she gave me right mindset towards wild animals care. One evening, the man arrived with that pigeon in the shoebox. He had drove 45 minutes to bring the bird into the hospital. Nearly it was 10 o'clock Monday night. The pigeon was not moving. It was still alive. So we took it into the inside quickly, and my trainer, put the pigeon into the oxygen box to help it breathe easier. So I returned to the man at the reception, told him, "We will look after the pigeon from now. Thank you very much for your kindness." And when he was leaving, he suddenly turned around and asked me, "Do I get an email about the pigeon?" He just wanted to know what would happen. I told him I would let the team know that you'd like to know about the outcome. And his face immediately lit up. And I remember watching him walking away until the door closed. I felt like respect, like, wow, what a hero he is. It was not like loud hero that showing off. It was quiet quiet decision and act of kindness. To most of people, it was just a pigeon, but to him, it was a life worth saving. I was very touched by this because I was one of those people who think pigeons were everywhere. Pigeons were just like scenery, even though I'm saying I love animals. So this experience really shifted how I see pigeons, and working in the hospital really changed my perspective towards pigeons as well. Another moment touched me was meeting a lady who has been raising 3 baby badgers. She feeds them every 2 hours around the clock alongside her work. She works from home, and she told me sometimes she pauses meeting, telling everyone, oh, it's time for feeding, just a moment. And the cool thing about is everyone, her colleagues, understand that. That is really sweet, the community. And when she spoke about the baby badgers, she smiled softly and said, they are just like my babies. It was really like watching mom dropping her babies into the childcare. She was giving a nurse, this is their wipe, this is the milk bottles, and this is antibiotics because one of them having infection, so you need to give antibiotics certain hours. It was like, wow. It was just like me years ago when I dropped my children off to school or childminder, and it just really resonates her motherhood. And it was really something important she said. She said it's hard to let them go when they are big enough, but it's good for them. It felt just like a mother sending her loved children into the world. And the last story I'd like to share with you today is one evening we also received severely injured deer. It's a small type of deer called muntjac, which I didn't know until I started volunteering. Before, I thought that was a baby deer, but it was grown up, but just small size or small type. But anyway, the injury was very serious, and it was so clear, even to me, that there was no chance of a recovery. So the kindest thing we could offer to the deer was a peaceful ending. And I knew I would face this situation when I decided volunteering in the hospital. And this is one of the biggest fear for me, to witness that moment. I thought that moment would feel devastating. But what I felt instead was something deeper. It was 4 of us in the room, quietly watching the deer, and the nurse put the oxygen mask on his face and quietly said, "Oh, darling." And she did what she needed to do, and she was stroking the deer softly. He was silent, and I closed my eyes and I said inside, in my mind, "I am really sorry that this happened, but no more suffering. Rest in peace." In Japanese, we have a word, totoi. It describes something precious, often used for life, something worthy of deep respect. Closest word in English, I would think, might be dignity. That moment felt like that to me. Through these experiences, I have realized that compassion can take many forms. Sometimes compassion means driving 45 minutes to save a pigeon. Sometimes it means feeding baby animals in every 2 hours through the night. Sometimes it means giving a suffering life a peaceful ending. And sometimes it simply means being quiet. One thing I've also realized is that many wild animals are injured because of human activity. But sometimes it is also human who save them. Seeing this quiet act of kindness gives me hope for humanity. Now, I'd like to ask you, have you ever witnessed a small act of kindness that stayed with you? Thank you for sharing this quiet moment with me. And wherever you are, I hope you notice one small life worth saving for today. See you in next video in Quietly Becoming. Bye.